Silviu, Munteanu și prietenii săi. Podcast Nu Futilități. O gură de cafea n-are ce să-mi strice. Bună seara, Silviu Munteanu suntem pe 103,4 în vastele studiouri Radio 7. Suntem și video pe YouTube, canalul 13 TV, sigla cu pisica neagră. Pentru succes în viață și o karmă mai bună, un subscribe ar fi apreciat. ROMERO este din nou în studio, the dark side of Latino lover. ¿Qué tal, mi amigo? Nice to see you again.
Bună seara, ce faci?
You learn Romanian.
Only this.
Not the curse words.
Only no. Oh, well, some. Yeah, some curse because I'm driving a lot in Bucharest, so it's you need to learn some bad words to tell to all the drivers.
It is necessary to protect your stomach, you know. Today is Mucenici Day. You know what Mucenici means?
Yeah, is this a spring thing, right? The spring celebration.
Yes, it's a Christian day. Who have 40 mucenici in the past. But you have to eat mucenici today, but the hard side of it, you have to drink 40 glasses of wine,
40.
red wine, yes. Because they were 40 mucenici, and you have to have a liver to be a good Christian.
Exactly. Very Christian. That's very Christian to get drunk. Right?
Yeah. It's not easy. So, the world seems to falling apart.
Yeah.
We are living in the strange time, but you still working on your projects.
Yeah.
You live in Bucharest, you live with Corina, your fiancée, right?
My fiancée, future wife, yes.
Yes, congratulations. I'm still waiting for the wedding. And you are going to Eurovision with a Bulgarian band.
Yes, with Intelligent Music Project.
Okay, give me details.
Well, I was working with the Intelligent Music the last, I would say, 4 years since we record the first album together. Everything starts a little bit like any other collaboration that I normally do in my work. Like, you know, they contact to me, are you able to sing a couple of songs in a record? And then we talk on the business side, and then everything turns like a very good chemistry between the band and me, and between all the people who works there. And I actually remember the first record, I was supposed to sing a couple of songs, and I ended up recording all the songs on the record. And then we start to work together to make some shows, and then because of this collaboration, the band reached certain popularity out of Bulgaria. They were a little bit well-known in Bulgaria, but we started to make a lot of shows. There was a lot of people going to the shows, all the people who were my fans before I joined Intelligent Music started to get interested in the band, and suddenly we ended up like today, let's say, going to Eurovision, representing Bulgaria. Was something we were working in the album number 7, like the radio.
Whoa!
And then we got this idea because I found out a couple of songs that would be really, really like a hits, and Dr. Brabeski, who is the owner of the project, he thought that would be
the drummer or the guitarist. Which one is he?
No, he is only the let's say the owner of the project. He write the lyrics and the songs, and then he hired different musicians to record the album.
Oh, okay.
And then that's how the band ended up having, for example, Simon Phillips from Toto on the drums. Nathan East from Toto and Phil Collins in the bass, some Bulgarian musicians. There's a lot of different singers.
Yes, I saw much vocalists, some backing vocals, and another guy who also play with.
Actually, one of the backing vocalists is a Bulgarian singer who won X Factor in Bulgaria. So they're very good, very good musicians. Yeah, very good musicians, but mostly singers. So Carl Sentas from Nazareth, Joseph Williams, a lot of different singers. And one of the singers I started to work with them like 4 years ago, as I told you, and then ended up like I am the only singer in the record. So I was the thing is, we got this idea to maybe present a couple of songs to the Bulgarian national television to explore the chance to go to Eurovision, because in Bulgaria they don't have a pre-contest like in other countries to go to Eurovision. It's directly the television who decides who's going to be the...
and the people vote?
No, there is no voting.
There is no voting.
No, it's only the television who decides who is going to be the representative. But you need to send a song, and then they decide with different bands.
Do you know the expression in Romanians, ați avut pile?
No.
It's a kind of influence traffic.
Yeah, could be. I don't know. The thing is, probably the television, they thought it would be a good idea because I am in the band and I am well-known musician and I have fans all over Europe. So they say, okay, this is going to be a good idea to send.
I guess so.
Music. And the song is cool. The people like the song, and so we ended up like. One day, Dr. Bravesky told me, Ronnie, get prepared because we are going to Eurovision.
The song is already in the playlist of Radio 7. We're going to listen to, but a little bit later, because I have to ask you a little bit of Eurovision. I don't know, to be honest, I don't know shit about Eurovision. I remember ABBA in the 70s, and for me, it was rock music, pop music, and a totally different animal called Eurovision. Since 4 or 5 years ago, when a rock band from Finland, Lordi, win, and they got me a little attention. Like, wow, the Eurovision, it's turning to another different animal. And last year, Måneskin won.
Måneskin from Italy. Yes.
And now this year, I guess you're gonna win.
I mean, we hope so. I don't think we're gonna win, but I have, do
you listen the other songs?
The thing with Eurovision is, as you said, there is so much different music styles, and you are competing with reggaeton, for example. So there is no point of figure it out who is going to win, because it depends on the audience, what they like. I don't know. I mean, it's the same situation that for me, that as you say, for me Eurovision was not attractive in the way that it's not the kind of music that I normally listen every day of. I am fan of.
It's not that rock and roll.
Exactly. So I mean, most of the years they have one or two kind of rock songs, maybe soft rock or pop rock or whatever. As Måneskin, for example, if you ask me, it's not hard rock or not properly rock.
My daughter, she's a big fan of Måneskin. So.
Yeah. I mean that's okay.
It's kind of pop rock.
They're cool anyway. I mean, they have the attitude anyway.
They play also cool. With Iggy Pop.
I think that's cool. Probably too much the attitude of rock music. Too much for me. I don't think the rock musicians we have that kind of attitude anymore. Real rock musicians, I mean. As I always say, rock star doesn't exist anymore. As you saw, Motley Crue, Guns N' Roses, all that kind of behaviors in the bands, doesn't exist anymore. That was a product from the industry. And the bands right now, they are like a normal people doing music.
Yeah, they drink water in the backstage.
They drink water in the backstage, exactly. There is no drugs.
Groupies anymore.
No drugs, no alcohol. Well, alcohol a little bit, yes. But it's mostly normal people just doing music. So for me, when you have this behavior like I'm a rock star and I use makeup and I'm a really bad guy and I do the interviews like this when they fit here, this maybe is too much. But anyway, the thing is, I was not that interested. But in the other hand, I think we can bring something different. So I don't know if we're gonna win, but we're gonna try. Bulgaria, we are going to a semi-final first. We are not going directly to the finals of the contest like other countries. So we need to go through a semi-final first the day before, and then if we go to the finals, we're gonna try to do our best. I think it's a good song. The band is great. The people like it. I have a lot of fans around Europe that they are already there saying that. It's very funny because in Spain, for example, they're gonna send a girl who dances like Beyoncé, and she sings like a reggaeton music.
Yeah, I think we have some.
So all the fans in Spain, they say we're gonna vote for Bulgaria because this is rock music. I don't like this shit, you know. So I think we're gonna.
I think every country have her own Beyonce.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. So I think we're gonna do well. I mean, it's gonna be a nice experience.
Actually, Bulgaria have a lot of rock market because if you, for example, if you bring Judas Priest to Bucharest or if you bring Judas Priest to Sofia's gonna have double as a crowd.
And I can say that because I remember the first time I played a show in Bulgaria was like 5 years ago. And I did a solo show. Let's say a solo show. I play with a local band, and we were playing covers, and it was sold out, the show, and I was really surprised because I was expecting something more, small.
Mm-hmm.
And every time that I go there, I play a festival called Hills of Rock in Plovdiv as well, and it was a great festival. It was Whitesnake, and so it was cool. I think they have a lot of rock fans.
On the other hand, it seems that restrictions are easily or hardly falling down, and we're gonna have a lot of gigs in the summer here.
Yes, we will have a lot of. Actually,
do you have something in mind?
Actually, with Intelligent Music, we are starting to. In 3 days, we will be in Turin, in Italy, playing the first show, like a promo show. Pre-Eurovision.
Eurovision is gonna be in Italy in May, you said.
Yes,
okay.
Yes, in Turin. We will be playing the same city 2 months before, and then we are going to Thessaloniki in Greece, we are going to Amsterdam, Brussels, Paris during March, and we will play some shows and the song for Eurovision so the people, they can, get to know the band.
What is the name of the song for Eurovision?
Intention.
I will find it now because I want to play it. Intention. I saw the video and you have a mirror somewhere.
Yeah.
And for some seconds it fooled me. Like, wow, how much are they in the band?
Yeah.
And suddenly I realized
a lot of
there is a mirror in there. Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
We're gonna play the song. Okay.
Okay.
From here, how simple life goes on. Humble, that's how I feel. Sparking hot flames on and on. Younger days run so clear. Through my mind, replaying my crime. Tearing me up, spreading fear. Obsession in my own time. What life's taking away, I'm missing. Will I sit back inside? Thoughts I'm just missing, too scared to even try. Anytime I've always known, I'm never in a safety zone.
never too late to set foot on the right path. All you need is intention.
Yes.
It doesn't sound very Bulgarian, and I love that guitar tone. I think it's a Gibson.
Vasile is a great guitar player. Yeah, and it's very classic. It's from like he has a lot of influences from the classic guitarists like Richie Blackmore, for example. So you can hear on the playing. It's very cool.
Another reason to have a good chemistry. You played with Richie Blackmore.
Yeah.
Yeah. By the way, I have a little story about Richie Blackmore.
Okay.
Because I love those wild stories from the 70s. The stories I'm talking about, it's told by Lemmy,
okay,
Killmister from Motorhead, and I wanted to hear it. It's a funny story. Okay. Check this out.
The best story I ever heard, and I believe it's true. It sounds like Richie. Richie Blackmore was notorious, right, for doing terrible things to people while they were asleep. This tour manager one time pissed him off, and they slipped him a Mickey.
Slipping someone a Mickey, a slang term for giving someone a drink laced with drugs without their prior knowledge or consent.
Right? And he woke up stark naked, without any clothes or papers of any kind, in a hired car with no keys in it, on a ferry to Iceland. And I don't care who you are, that is the best I ever heard. That is thorough, you know. And I hope it's true, you know, because it should be. That is wonderful, and it's malice. And what are you going to do, you know? Ask your sailor for help? Or wait till all the cars start going beep beep behind you when they get into port, you know? Wunderbar. Start bolt naked. Excellent.
Tough stories from the 70s. Is Blackmore that kind of guy, or is a legend? He's also a legend. We know that. But
I know
from that.
Yeah, I know from him that he used to do that kind of things. Not anymore, because now it's a kind of a quiet old guy, family guy. He
is not too old to rock and roll.
Since we worked together, he was always traveling with his kids and all the family. So he was a little bit, he was more quiet. But anyway, he liked to spend time just in a table, drinking and telling his stories. And the most of the time, he was telling his stories about how he was in those turbulence times. So yeah, there is a lot of stories like that. He was pranking the most of his bandmates all the time. I know stories that how he was pranking, for example, Gussie Powell, Jolene Turner.
Pranking means exactly what?
Pranking is like make a joke.
I know what pranking is. I'm interested in what kind of prank.
For example, those fire extinctors, like those red tubes.
I know.
And
broke it. You are Ronnie Romero. You are allowed to broke anything.
Yeah. So, for example, to go to Gussie Powell's room and put all the extinctor and then close the door and the windows.
Yeah. Okay.
That kind of things. They were, for example, I told me a story that once they were playing a show in Paris, and there was a song called "No Release" with Jolene Turner. And there was a moment in the song where Jolene Turner was alone singing with the audience, and the band was going out of stage. So he was singing like a "no release," and the people was "no release, no release, no release," something like that. So they went out of the stage in the front, and they started to throw vegetables to Jolene Turner, the band. I mean Richie and the band throwing the tomatoes and that kind of things. So he was doing that. He did it to me actually once. That was like my welcome joke.
It's like a baptism to be welcome in the band.
Yeah, we were preparing a show in Birmingham. That was the first tour we did together, and we were in this very posh hotel, like a castle, and my room, it was like a 2 floors house, just my room, So it was like a very expensive hotel. And I was going for a running in the mornings, and I let the windows of the room open. when I came back, all my room was full of garbage, all the room, and I thought like, what's going on? Because I didn't have too much garbage in my room actually. And suddenly I saw through the window, and it was Richie, like, with all the garbage, like telling me, "Hey, welcome," that kind of things. So yeah, he did a lot of that kind of jokes.
I saw news some weeks ago about Rod Halford. He is preparing for a blues album. Do you have in your mind, because you have a bluesy roots, if you are asking me, do you have in mind in the future to try a bluesy album?
Maybe. I mean, we are with my record label. We were talking the last, let's say, 2 years about to make a solo album. I was not too much into the idea to do it because I always had this feeling that to make a solo album, it's when your career is already like, up 20, 30 years old, and you want to do something different from your band. The thing is, I was doing a lot of different things all the time, so I didn't feel the need to make something extra. So my record label, they came with the idea to make this solo album, and they say, if you want to do it with the original material, maybe you want to do by the moment like a cover album, and that's what we did now. My first solo cover album is gonna be out in April. And
that's
so
a news.
Yeah, so I picked up classic songs, but not the typical songs that the people will expect for me to sing, like a Rainbow or Dio, but something different.
I think it's healthy to think in that way.
Yeah, and there is a lot of different. You will see a lot of different influences because, for example, I'm playing songs from Kansas, Survivor, Grand Funk Railroad, the first Dio band Elf, which is more bluesy. Then we're gonna prepare original material for.
You're playing your roots.
Yes, and probably there's gonna be a lot of blues because I was listening blues music since I was a kid. I remember not only listening Deep Purple, Rainbow, Led Zeppelin, but a lot of, with my father, rest in peace, a lot of let's say American rock bands like Boston, Kansas, the same Grand Funk, Creedence, and then a lot of blues guitarists like Gary Moore, Frank Marino, Stevie Ray Vaughan. So I have a lot of influences from the blues music, and also the first era of Whitesnake for me, which is my favorite. Not the screaming part with the Still of the Night, that kind of thing, which is okay, but
the early 80s, I guess.
The early 70s when they start with Moody Marsden on the guitars. Like the first album, and then the first and the second album for me are the more Whitesnake, and that's a lot of blues there. So it's gonna be something like that.
You've been in a lot of projects.
Yeah.
Do you have one of them in particular you hate?
No.
You don't find yourself anymore, and you think, what the fuck was in my mind?
Yeah, that's different. Yeah, that would be. Not to hate, because every project that I choose to work with, it's moved by a feeling, Obviously not with Richie, because when Richie Blackmore calls you to work in Rainbow, you don't need to think anything about, no, I like it or I don't like it. You need to be there anyway, even if you don't like it. But the most of the bands, it's like I always talk with the people. I really need to meet the people in person first, see if there is a chemistry, there is a good feeling to work with, and then I start to work. So there is no space for any hate. It is true that sometimes the people behave not in the way that you wish when you work with them. There is a lot of jealousy, there is a lot of unprofessionalism, egos, and for example, that happens to me with Vandenberg. With everything starts really cool, and he was trying to convince me to do an album together, and I was not too much into the idea because I was working with Leo Leoni from Gotar at that time, and I found out they were very similar styles. So I was saying, I don't want to do the same thing, but then we ended up working together. We recorded an album in LA. It was a pretty cool album. The people like it very much. But then,
I know that album. I listening some weeks ago.
Yeah. and I think it's great, and the album is great. The songs are great, and the people liked it. But then suddenly the guy started to behave in improperly way, and we had a problem with some shows. They were scheduled, and I was doing other shows with Michael Schenker at that time, and so then everything ended up like I don't want to work with you anymore. And the guy, he was doing some statements in the Facebook and in the social, like I was not committed with the band, and this is not true. I mean, so it's sometimes you get a little bit disappointed from
that's a sad story
from some musicians because they think mostly the old musicians, they think they're still in the spotlight, and they try to use your name to
promote,
lift up a little bit his endings careers, and suddenly they start to have some behaviors which are not cool. And as I told you before, I really like and I really love to make music to be happy and not to have problems. So it's that's the only thing.
I
probably
think it's part of the process.
Yeah, probably if you ask me any project that I not to hate, but I a little bit regret to be part of, it was Vandenberg probably.
Sorry to hear that. I have another question for you. When you put your work, let's say on a song, you have your own idea, and the other people from the band say maybe it's not that good, maybe it change a little. Do you have that ego? I would give you an example. When I made movies, sometimes I make movies, okay? I have a lot of footage and a lot of story, and I have to cut it.
Yeah.
And take it out of the movie, and I have that feeling that I will also kill my children, you know. I have that feeling. Do you have?
No, fortunately, I know what you mean, but I don't have this kind of ego. Like, and it's pretty normal for singers to have this. I know people that they want to have their names in the album. Like, I wrote this song and I wrote the lyric.
I think it's important for money.
Sometimes yes, but you need to think. You need to think in the product more in the ego. That happens very often to me. For example, with some musicians that I work with, they ask me, "Can you write some music? Can you write some lyrics? Can you?" And I say, "Yeah, I can do it." And sometimes I try, but then I realize that maybe my idea is not that good, like their ideas. So I don't have any problem to say your idea is better. So maybe we need to work. That happens to me with Michael Schenker, for example. The last two records, he asked me to write lyrics. In the first record we did together, one of the songs, it was actually the single, and it was the most successful song, was the Sail the Darkness from the Immortal album. And I wrote that lyric, and it works really well. Then on the next album, that's going to be released this year, he asked me to write more music. So I wrote a lot of songs, a lot of lyrics, like 6-7 songs. And then I sent the ideas, and then they told me, I think we have better ideas than these ones. And I say, okay, because anyway, if I put too much my songs into the Michael Schenker album, it's not going to sound like Michael Schenker. So I prefer the people to listen Michael Schenker with Ronnie Romero than to listen a strange mix. You know, so it's I don't have any problem. And normally I work with people that they send me already all the songs and the music and the lyrics already done, and I just need to go to the studio to record, and that's, for me, it's okay.
I know a story from Slash. Slash said he was invited to play a solo guitar on Bob Dylan's album. He played that solo guitar, and Bob Dylan didn't like it because it sounded too much like Guns N' Roses. You know?
Yeah, that could be.
Put it out.
That's what I'm telling you about Schenker. I thought maybe I don't need to go to, because we have to. The differences on the influences are too different. As I told you, you told before, I have a lot of influences from the blues music, and it's totally different from Schenker. So if I put my vocal lines and my lyrics on a Michael Schenker song, it's not gonna sound like Michael Schenker. So the people, maybe they will not gonna like it too much.
I know, because they want Schenker. Okay?
Yeah, exactly. So I prefer to keep the Schenker album sounding like Michael Schenker, and that's okay.
I think being a vocalist, it's part of your job to write lyrics.
Yeah, it's healthy, yeah.
Sometimes I think you have deadline for it.
That's another problem. That's another There's another big problem with the business nowadays, that they want everything really fast, so you don't have time to get inspiration, to think about your ideas.
That was my question, actually.
To put your experiences on what you are writing. So sometimes it's like okay, you need to write 10 songs in 2 weeks, and it's like, that's impossible. I mean, it's not impossible. You can do it, but it's not gonna sound totally soulful. Like you are inspired writing something important. So it's gonna sound like another product, cheap product, and that's it. So
it is a little bit strange because as a art creator, you have to connect with some muses.
Yeah.
And the more you are into the story, the more the muses could come to you,
Yeah.
And you have to access those ideas.
Yeah.
But sometimes it doesn't work.
It doesn't work.
Sometimes it works perfectly. And here is the stories. Some people used to drink to access the music. Some people smoke something to access the music. Some people told me the best way to access those music is in the morning when you have a hangover.
Okay.
Yeah. How does it work for you?
As you say, it depends, because sometimes you need to write a song and you can spend a week thinking, and writing one line
lyric
and doesn't work, and then another line and doesn't work, and then you spend a week and you have nothing, and then other day you just wake up in the morning, you get your morning coffee, and you write a complete song in half an hour, So I think it.
What kind of coffee?
in my case, it's like I need to be totally relaxed. If I had a kind of a stressful week on a stressful day, it's really hard to get focus on. I am like everybody knows, and that's why I do a lot of different bands all the time, because I'm very hyperactive. I need to do things all the time. So if I am too stressed, I cannot be focused doing something, and I lost the focus really, really fast. So I cannot go to the couch and start to write, and then I'm thinking of something else, and I cannot do it. So for me, the perfect timing is to be relaxed and totally quiet. Any noise, sometimes even Corina, she can suffer about that, because I'm trying to write a lyric, and she's watching the television, for example, in the other room, and I was in a little
woman,
a little bit, But I have lucky enough anyway. For example, because Corina, she helps me a lot with that. She understands my job, so even she goes with me in the room and she puts some candles, and I have quietness enough to write.
She's taking care of your music.
Exactly.
Yeah,
that's very important. That's very important for me. And that's very important for a musician to be with somebody who understands what you are doing. You're not just losing time trying to be a musician. You are doing your job because it's a proper job. It's a job. It's a work. And
it's kind of full-time job sometimes.
Exactly. So she understands that, and she helps me a lot. And then sometimes we sing together. Sometimes she brings with, some ideas of the lyrics, or some ideas of the vocal lines. So she helps me a lot with that. But I need to be not drinks. No, I mean, I drink at home wine, and
you could tell me, it's okay.
Yeah, we drink.
Nobody hears.
No, we normally drink wine. For example, I love red wine, and we normally drink wine when we are doing something in the house. We are cooking or watching the TV. I love Baileys.
How many bottles you need for the perfect lyrics?
No. I'm not that kind of drinker. Actually, we can drink a bottle in 2-3 days. So it's not that much.
Amateur.
Exactly. But I love Baileys by after dinner, for example, that kind of things. I love vodka sometimes. We have a lot of different whiskeys at home, so sometimes we drink a little whiskey. But normally I need to be relaxed and very focused on what I'm doing. The other thing that I normally do is when I need to read the lyrics for a song, I listen the idea, and I say, okay, this sounds, for example, this sounds very Whitesnake. So I start to listen Whitesnake for a while, so I can have ideas on the vocal lines and that kind of things. But I think I'm not that kind of singer who need to be writing all the time. So for me, and actually for me, it's really easy to learn the songs when I need to go to the studio. So it's, I think for my solo record, it's going to be a proper job of, songwriting, because I really want to have my solo record with my name, with my own lyrics and my own ideas. So actually I was talking with the band already, saying, we're going to get together. I don't want to be this typical record that one guy is in Spain, one guy is in Switzerland, one guy is in Romania recording, and at the end there is another guy mixing.
Broke it. That's
Yeah.
okay.
I'm gonna take it home, I think. So for my solo record, I'm gonna try to take care more on the production, and I will have all the band together rehearsing the songs and recording all together, like in the old days.
Rehearsing in the same room, I think it's important.
It's like in the old days, like Deep Purple did the Machine Head, for example.
I know a lot of bands who don't like rehearsing a day before, because they're gonna have they're gonna fuck it up on the stage.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, that's.
It sounds for me like a band's superstition,
Every band is a different world. I work with many musicians, like for example, Richie Blackmore. The rehearsals were like, we were rehearsing from 3 p.m. until 10 p.m. all day. But the most of the times we were talking.
Yeah, I think it's important too in the chemistry of the band.
And it was Richie telling stories, and then we're making breaks to get some food, and then we play one song, and then we start to talk again. Very, very, relaxed. In the other hand, for example, Michael Schenker, as you go to the rehearsal 12, midday, rehearse until 8, the set list 3-4 times in a row, without any stop, even for drink or to food, anything. Like just playing the song, playing, because it's a German, obviously, but it's a totally different world. It's a totally different world, So it's, but it's funny. But I can adapt to any.
Do you listen to Romanian rock music? Do you have a favorite vocalist, Romanian?
I know some bands. I have some friends in some bands, like Aline from Trooper, and all the band. They're friends of mine. We were playing together in the rehearsal room a couple of times. They're great guys. I was invited to one of the shows in Arenele Romane last year, and I know Cargo, for example. I know that one of the guys from Cargo is in a band with Frontiers already, right? Yeah. So this one of the guitar players who is one of my favorites, a good friend of mine, and is a big fan of me. And it's funny because he's an older guy, and he's a fan of me. But he is so nice. He is a so nice guy. Yeah, the guitar player from Compact, Paul.
Okay.
Very cool guy, and is a great guitar player. So yeah, when I have the chance, normally I listen some music. I mean, the Cargo. I remember the singer from Cargo. He has a very rock vocal and voice. So it's super cool. Aline from Trooper is a little bit different because it's more into the heavy metal thing and more more screaming, that kind of things. So, but anyway, they're great guys.
You don't know Minculescu, Iris.
It is, yeah, of course, yeah, I know them.
Yeah, because some people said the screaming are very important, and some vocalists can do it, and some vocalists cannot do it. You know.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it is important to scream sometimes, but it depends what the song needs. So it's I don't like that kind of singers. They're screaming all the time. I think you need to scream when the song needs to be screaming. But anyway, I mean, I think it's because of my influences.
There are some conflicts around the country, you know, around the Romanian country, the Russian, the Ukrainian. And I remember those times where Jimi Hendrix were in Vietnam, where Elvis was in the army.
Yeah.
How can you find yourself in all the situation? And you are here now. You are kind of close to this conflict.
I go to Russia very often.
Yeah, I know that too.
And actually had 2 years ago I had a kind of not a proper conflict, but there were some fans creating some conversation in my social because I was going to the Crimea area.
They politicize you.
Yeah, the Crimea area in Russia, Ukraine.
Let's say that.
Yeah.
Let's be political.
Exactly. So I was going to play a show there. And
very beautiful place.
It is. And there were some Ukrainian fans that they were saying like, you are going to support this Russia thing, and this is not Russia, this is Ukraine. And I say, listen, I'm just going there to play music. I don't have anything to do with that. So I don't care in the way that I'm going there to play a show for some people and then for fans actually, and they are paying a ticket to see me, and that's it. There's no political issues around. And actually I remember that I needed to sign a contract to go there where I am declaring that I'm not going there for political reasons.
That's strange.
It is strange.
I also hear kind of stories from, I guess, Metallica or Guns N' Roses playing in China. They have to bring before the gig the set list, and censorship commission. When this song works, this song doesn't work, and they didn't play. Metallica didn't play Master of Puppets. It was really strange.
Makes sense. That happens to me once in Japan, but it was not because of the political reasons. It was because the promoter he was a big fan of Rainbow, and I was going there with my band Lords of Black. So we were playing 2 shows in Japan, one show in Tokyo and the other show in Osaka. And I remember we were in the rehearsal room like 3 days before the first show, and we were starting to rehearse, and then this promoter came with a set list that he did for the band. I did the set list for the shows.
That's strange.
And we say, okay, let me see. So we have like 5 songs of Lords of Black, and then like 10 songs of Deep Purple and Rainbow. And I said, but why? And he said, because people love Rainbow, and but this is not a Rainbow show. This is a Lords of Black show, and we are promoting our album. So we ended up playing like just to make the guy happy. We ended up playing a couple of songs from Rainbow at the end, like encores.
Yeah, but I think that's a little bit strange too.
Yeah, it is. I mean, normally Japan is there like that. They are like a very
they're a big fan. There is a big market in Japan.
And they think that if they are paying to you to go there to play, they can decide on this kind of things.
I know. You also find sometimes in the Romanian crowds they're called Bagopae.
Okay,
think that one.
That happens. That happens to me even in Bulgaria. I was even with intelligent music. Sometimes we're playing some shows, and then suddenly you hear from the audience, "Play Kill the King," and it's something totally nothing to do with intelligent music.
Kind of fun fact. Fun now. In the Ceausescu times in Romania, every rock band actually every band, but especially rock bands, have to go with the lyrics to a censorship commissioner to make approvement, you know. Well, it was a little bit strange, you know. And there's a guy, a poet guy, who also wrote some lyrics from the band Phoenix. It's called Sherban Forza. And he invented a trick to trick them. They put two chorus with a very tough lyrics. He knows they'll take it out, and it remains what he wants.
Ah, okay, yeah. Yeah, I understand. Yeah, yeah. Could
they
be.
fool them somehow.
That still happens sometimes. It's incredible, but it still happens in Spain, for example. Not with the rock music, but with some punk bands. They have lyrics against the royal family, and actually one of the guys is now in the jail because of that. And there was a big problem in Spain with the society because there was not freedom of speech in that case. So he was having some lyrics against the king and
so
Spanish
we
king.
have woke moment in Europe to try to cancel them.
I mean, it's incredible that nowadays in this democratic countries we have this kind of problems. But anyway, I don't think that. I mean, fortunately for me, rock music, we talk more about love and that kind of things and parties and that kind of thing, so we don't have that kind of problem.
But it's kind of a frustration, I think, to live, especially for me, to live that moments again with censorship. It's not healthy.
Yeah, it's not.
And sooner or later, it's gonna hit you back. Somehow
it's because it's not
and create frustration and create violence
because to create music is about, first of all, about freedom. So when you don't have that, to make music make no sense.
What do you think about this woke moments to cancel people? If I don't like what your opinion is, I want to silence you.
Yeah, man. As I told you, that still happens very often. I think it's a strange situation, and you need to take it very carefully because from one side, obviously you should be able to tell your opinion, no matter the opinion is. But in the other hand, sometimes, and you can see it a lot of, for example, in the social media, sometimes the people, they go too far with their opinions.
I know.
And that happens, for example, to me very often with my music. I can tell you that when I start to make music in Spain, I was just arriving from Chile in South America to Spain. It was like a 2009, 2010. And I was playing with a Spanish band. And the people were saying, why this guy, they got this South American guy if we have a lot of good Spanish singers? And I started to get a lot of let's say xenophobic comments on my social because of I was not Spanish. So as I told you, sometimes you can go, the people, they go so too much, and we need to take care of that.
I'm just curious, you meet that kind of attitude in here too?
In Romania?
Yeah, or Bulgaria?
No, not really. I mean, in a way, I can understand. For example, in Bulgaria, that happens when we announce that we are going to Eurovision. They say, why they pick up a band with a Chilean Spanish singer who lives in Romania to represent the country if we have a lot of great Bulgarian singers in Bulgaria? And that's a good opinion. I mean, you can say that. But when you go too far with the xenophobic thing,
I know,
that's too much.
I think it's very important to have different opinion and talk about it. Of course. If I don't like what you're thinking about, let's say, any subject, it doesn't mean we can't be friends anymore,
I mean, I always tell to all my musicians, fellows, like, you need to realize that you as a musician, you are selling a product. It's the same thing that with the Coca-Cola. You can like it or you're not. And it's okay if you say, I don't like Coca-Cola, I prefer Pepsi, for example. With your music, the people, they can do the same thing. I like your music, I don't like your music. I like how you sing, I don't like your vocals. That's pretty much okay, and you need to get used to that, because at the end, you are putting a product so the people, they can have an opinion of that. The problem is when, as I told you before, when the people go too far. That happens, I think, only once in Romania. Remember, there was a guy in the social, a Romanian guy, who was telling me even like offenses because I was not Romanian and I was living in Romania, with a Romanian fiance, and the guy was really bad talking on the social, and that's too much.
Let me tell you something. There are a lot of hate in the social media, which maybe it's healthy because the hate must stay there, not outside of it. But
I think is a reflect of the society. It's not that it's that too much hate on the social. There is too much hate on the society. The problem with the social is that there is no control that what the people is saying.
But if you are keep reading their comments constantly, it's not good for you, because somehow it remains in the head.
Oh yeah, of course.
And if you want to have a hygienic life, to have a clean mind, you have to kind of stay away from that comments.
Yeah. Actually, sometimes because Corina, she take care of my social the most of the times.
The women are more powerful.
Sometimes she get a little bit upset when she tell me, like, because I try to not to care too much about the comments, and she say, why you are not upset about this? And I would say, because it doesn't matter.
I want to save the day.
Exactly. I think it's not important to spend time trying to figure it out. Why these people say that? And who is this guy? And that kind of things. Richie told me a really great advice once. We were playing a show. And
Richie Blackmore.
And he told me, you just need to make music to be happy. And because you like it. Don't matter about the comments, because in the same show you're playing, there will be one people who gonna say, I loved the show. There was a great performance. I loved the lights and the stage was great. And then in the same show, there will be another person who gonna say, this sucks. I didn't like it. They play a lot of mistakes. I didn't like the lights. I didn't like the sound.
You also have this kind of view at weddings.
Yeah.
Some people don't like sarmalele.
Exactly. So he told me there will be two different opinions in the same show you perform. And who is right and who is wrong? Probably they both are right and they both are wrong. Because
I think
it's a personal opinion.
At your level, you know better if you fucked up that show, what you play well or good.
But the good thing that I learned that even when they say good words from you, like you are great, you don't need to take care of that. Just play music because you like it and you are happy doing it, and that's it. That's more healthy for mental health.
We talk a little bit of social media, and we kind of live in the future from that technological point of view.
Yeah.
Do you know metaverse?
Yes, that sounds familiar to me.
Yeah, it's made by Facebook, I guess.
Yeah,
and you could live a life online.
Yeah,
and have a profile there. And the funny thing is, I also have seen artists, musicians, who have a live show in metaverse. Do you see yourself doing that? And funny thing, they're selling tickets.
Yeah, I know. Everything starts with the pandemic, actually, that kind of thing.
I guess so.
When they start, there was no way to make shows, and the musicians, they were doing like live streamings.
It means like you stay at your home. Maybe the rest of the band staying at home. They have that.
Actually, I got
VR. That VR.
Yeah. I got an offer once. It was like some months ago. I got an email from a company. They were saying we're gonna make a live stream festival. So you need to sign up like an artist, and they pay you. They tell me we're gonna pay you like a solid fee of. I will tell you because it was so funny.
Crypto.
No. They were paying money, but it was like $150 American just to be in the festival. And then the people, when you're performing it, the people who's watching, they like it, they start to send tips.
Okay.
So the more they like the show, more tips you get.
Mm-hmm.
So they told me you can get like 2,000 euros or 3,000 euros if the people like too much the show. And I found it really, really sad, because I grew up with the feeling that if you like too much an artist, first of all, you buy the record and then you buy a ticket to watch him live.
And, there is another aspect here. When you are on stage and you have the crowd in your front, there is a exchange energies.
Oh, of course, yeah.
I'm not sure you can do that in metaverse.
I don't think so. I remember actually with Intelligent Music we did a live stream show, and it's not the same feeling. It's not at all. And as you say, and every audience is different. Sometimes you have a great show because the audience is great, and sometimes the show is okay, but the audience was a little bit, like this. So yeah, it's a feeling that you cannot get doing these kind of things, and it's really sad. But sadly, the musicians they're starting to do this because the business with the pandemic is going down. So there is no.
I hope so.
There is no other way. Hopefully we don't. That's not the future. Hopefully not. But,
I don't know.
But it looks like.
It looks like.
Yeah.
And playing in metaverse, I don't know. There was an article. A woman complained about being sexually attacked by 5 toxic manly avatars in metaverse. That's what the fuck, man. It was that simple to take the VR off.
Yeah.
No.
Oh,
I was sexually attacked in metaverse. What?
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it happens. So in conclusion, man, you are a lucky bastards with
I can
a
say
good
that.
voice.
I can say that.
Kind of lucky bastards we don't meet every day. And we're gonna wish you best to Eurovision.
Thank you.
In May, you said it's gonna be.
Yeah, 14.
And
14.
that means you're gonna go to Italy and play in there live.
Yeah, the situation with it will be very strange because of the pandemic. They are taking care of all the regulations so the people they cannot get the virus during the Eurovision thing, because there is a lot of people involved. So we need to go there the beginning of May. So we're gonna spend like 2 weeks before because obviously you
to
need
make sure that you are healthy,
and because you need to rehearse for the show, because there is a choreography and the cameras and everything, so everything should be rehearsed. So we're going we're gonna be in a hotel, going to the venue to rehearse, go back to the hotel every day during 2 weeks before the performance on the festival.
How many people is gonna be in Intelligent Music Project?
We are 6 in the band, and then probably the delegation is gonna be another 10 people.
Okay. Oh, a lot of people.
Yeah, because you had the head of communication, the stage manager, the people from the choreography, the sound techs, and there is a lot of people.
I told you are lucky bastard, but I know that in the back of it is a lot of work.
It is.
I'm pretty sure it is.
It is actually right since January. I'm doing interviews every day. Corina, she can tell you. I mean, sometimes she's like, I don't want to make another interview today because I'm so tired.
You have to do something before.
Yeah, but not that much, because it's all the countries involved in the Eurovision contest. They want to have an interview with you and different medias from the same country. So it's and sometimes we have shows pre-Eurovision with other content that's from the festivals in some cities. So it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work of mostly promotion. So and then we need to rehearse the choreography for the performance. We need to rehearse the song, obviously. So there is a lot of work. So probably this is something I'm gonna do once in my lifetime.
Wish you best and thank you for coming.
Thank
Fun, you're gonna be at Eurovision. I think it's gonna be a good experience after all.
And the good thing, since I'm living in Romania the last 2 years, the people from Romania, if we go to not in the semi-final, but if we go to the final, they can vote for Bulgaria. So hopefully I will get all my Romanian friends voting for Bulgaria.
I hope good money gonna come.
Hopefully as well.
Because that's rock and roll. One for the money,
Exactly.
two for the show.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Silviu Munteanu și prietenii săi. Podcast, nu futilități.